Tell me a story about a boy dressing as a girl.
Once upon a time there was a young boy named Jack who wanted to dress like a girl. He was curious about it and wanted to explore his options. One day, Jack decided to go shopping for girls' clothes. He was a bit nervous, but he was determined to try something different. At the store, Jack picked out a pretty dress, a pair of shoes, and a few other accessories. He took them to the fitting room and tried them on. When he looked in the mirror, Jack felt completely transformed. He was amazed at how different he looked and felt. Jack paid for his purchases and headed home. He was excited to show his parents his new look. When he arrived home, he confidently presented his new outfit to them. His parents were both surprised and supportive of Jack's decision to dress like a girl. From then on, Jack often dressed in his new clothing. He felt more confident and better about himself than ever before. The end.
Tell me a story of a boy wearing a girl's bikini.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Joe who loved to have fun. He was always up for an adventure, and he was never afraid to try something new. One day, Joe decided to go to the beach with his friends. He noticed all of the girls were wearing bikinis, so he decided he wanted to try one on too. He asked his friends to help him find a girl's bikini and they eventually found one. Joe put on the bikini and it fit perfectly. His friends were amazed, and they couldn't believe how he was able to pull it off. Joe felt so confident and happy in his new outfit. The group of friends spent the day at the beach, having a great time. Joe was the center of attention everywhere he went, and he loved it. He felt like he could do anything in that bikini. When it was time to leave, Joe said goodbye to his friends and went home. He put his bikini away and never wore it again, but he still felt empowered by the experience. He learned that day that he could do anything he set his mind to, no matter what other people said.
Tell me a story where a man wakes up to find himself in the body of his wife.
Once upon a time there was a man who lived a relatively normal life. He had a wife and children and a job he enjoyed. One day he unexpectedly woke up to find himself in the body of his wife. He was confused and scared, and his wife was equally as shocked. After some initial confusion and disbelief, they decided that they should try and make the best of the situation and work together to figure out what was happening and why. They eventually discovered that a witch had cursed them in a fit of rage, and had switched their minds and souls into each other's bodies. The only way to break the curse was to find a magical item of great power. The couple set off on an epic journey to retrieve the magical item, facing many dangers and obstacles along the way. Eventually, after months of searching, they were able to find it and return home. The witch was forced to keep her promise and break the curse, returning them to their natural bodies. The man and his wife were relieved and grateful to be back in their own bodies, and much wiser for the experience.
Tell me a story where a football player becomes a female cheerleader.
Once upon a time there was a football player named Brian. He was really good at the game, but he didn't find it as fulfilling as he'd hoped. He wanted to experience something new, something different. One day, he saw a group of female cheerleaders practicing on the sidelines and was instantly intrigued. He decided to join their team and try it out. At first, Brian was very awkward and clumsy, but the other cheerleaders were patient and encouraging. With a lot of hard work and dedication, he eventually got the hang of it. He was soon an integral part of the team, cheering on his fellow football players from the sidelines and performing impressive stunts. The crowd was always amazed at his strength and agility. Brian soon became an inspiration for other football players who wanted to try something new. He showed them that it was okay to take risks and try something different. Brian was the first football player to become a female cheerleader, and he made a lasting impression on the sport. He proved that gender shouldn't limit what you can do and that you can achieve anything with courage and hard work.
Tell me a story where a boy becomes a flower girl at a wedding.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jack who lived in a small town. He had grown up in a loving home and had a happy childhood. One day, Jack's parents received an invitation to a wedding. The invitation said that the bride and groom were looking for a flower girl for their special day. Jack's parents thought it was a wonderful idea and asked Jack if he would do it. At first, Jack was embarrassed and didn't want to do it. But his parents encouraged him and eventually he agreed. On the day of the wedding, Jack put on a white dress, a pretty flower crown, and carried a basket of flowers down the aisle. As Jack walked down the aisle, all the guests were astonished. They had never seen a young boy as a flower girl before, and it was such a sweet and unexpected surprise. At the end of the ceremony, Jack received a standing ovation and lots of hugs. Everyone thanked him for making the bride and groom's special day even more memorable. Jack went home feeling incredibly proud of himself. Despite his initial hesitation, he had done something special and he would never forget it.